With AI and education exploding right now, everybody's trying to AI proof their assignments, but most redesigns are happening too late. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you how to design assignments from the start so they actually measure thinking even if your students are using AI. Welcome to the AI Professor. I'm Chris. I've been teaching in higher education for 17 years. I had to rethink my own assignments when AI showed up. The more I tested it, the more I could see what was coming. One of my go-to assignments, the traditional research paper, was never going to work the same way again. AI could hand me something polished in under 2 minutes. And that was the moment I realized this wasn't just a cheating problem, it was an assignment design problem. Here's what I see happening right now in higher ed. Professors are reactive. A student submits something that feels AI written, and the initial instinct is to add a restriction. Tell them they're not allowed to use AI tools, that all assignments are going to go to turnitin.com, or we're only going to have written assignments or exams occur in class in front of me. I get it, I really do, but that's playing defense on a field that keeps changing. AI didn't break our assignments, it exposed them. Think about it like a smoke detector that keeps going off in your kitchen. You can take out the battery, or you can ask why the smoke is there in the first place. Most professors are just taking the battery out. They're adding restrictions. They're switching to handwritten exams, but the smoke was already there before AI showed up. AI just made it impossible to ignore. Most assignments weren't really designed to reveal thinking in the first place. They were designed to collect answers. A research paper collects information. A summary collects comprehension. A discussion post collects a response. None of those things require a student to actually think in a way that AI can't replicate. If your assignment only asks for an answer, AI will win every single time. The question is whether your assignment asks for something AI genuinely struggles with. So what does AI actually struggle with? It has a difficult time taking a position, making a decision, and then defending it with specific reason. If your assignment doesn't force those 3 things, AI will do just fine. I call it choose, use, and explain, and it's become the filter I run every single assignment through before I put it in front of students. Step 1 is choose. The student has to make a decision. Not summarize one, not list options, but pick one and own it. In step 2, they're to use it. Apply a course concept to support that decision. This would be maybe a specific scenario or something from your lecture that they would then apply. And the last is explain. Defend the reasoning, not just what they chose, but why, and why the other options didn't hold up. That last piece is where AI starts to fall apart. It can explain anything, but what it struggles to do is take a genuine position, commit to it, and defend that choice against alternatives, especially when the scenario is grounded in your course contents. Here's how I think about it. A doctor doesn't pass medical school by memorizing symptoms. They pass by being handed a patient, real or simulated, and being asked, what's wrong? What do you do about it? And why not something else? That's not a knowledge test. That's a judgment test. And judgment is exactly what we stopped asking for the moment we made assignments about collecting answers instead of making decisions. So let me make this concrete. I'm going to show you 3 real assignment rewrites, what a weak version looks like versus what happens when you run it through this framework, choose, use, and explain. Example 1. This one comes up constantly in my criminal justice courses. Here's the weak one. Explain deterrence theory. Instead, a stronger one would be, would deterrence actually work in this specific scenario? Pick a position and defend it using course concepts. In the weak version, AI writes it in 30 seconds and it sounds great, but in the stronger version, it requires a student to commit to a position on a specific situation. And that's fundamentally different cognitive task. Here's another example, and this one I love because it puts students inside the problem. The weak assignment would be summarize this criminal case, but a stronger one would be you are the prosecutor. What charge would you pursue and why? And what would the defense argue to counter you? The moment you put a student in a role and ask them to make a real decision with real stakes, you're measuring something completely different than recall. You're measuring judgment, and judgment requires the material to actually be inside of the student. A third example, and this one's for anyone teaching online who's tired of those discussion posts that they feel are written by nobody. The weak version is discuss this week's reading, but a stronger version would be which idea from this week's reading would fail in the real world. Pick one, explain why, and tell me what you'd change about it. That last prompt forces a student to do 3 things: identify an idea, evaluate it critically, and propose something different. That's choose, use, and explain, working exactly the way it's supposed to. AI can explain anything. It genuinely struggles to take a position, especially a defensible, specific, course-grounded one. And that's your leverage point as a professor. Now, here's the part most professors are completely missing. And honestly, it's my favorite piece of this whole conversation. You can use AI to design better assignments, but only if you give it a structure to follow instead of just a topic to work with. And here's what I mean. Here's 2 examples of prompts. The weak prompt, create an assignment on criminal law. Instead, a better assignment prompt would be create an assignment where students choose a charge, apply course concepts to a specific scenario, and explain their reasoning. This assignment should require a defensible position, not just a summary. You'll use the same AI tool, but you'll definitely get a completely different output because you give it a process to follow, not just a task to complete. As a bonus, once it builds that assignment, ask it to generate a rubric that evaluates decision-making, application, and reasoning. Now you've got an assignment and an assessment tool that are aligned from the start, and you built both of them in about 10 minutes. Before I let you go, I want to give you one thing you can use today, and I call it the 10 seconds test. Before you assign anything, ask yourself these 3 questions. First, can AI answer this without choosing anything? Second, can it stay completely generic and still pass? And third, does it require any specific reasoning or defense? If the answer to any of those questions is yes, fix it before you assign it, not after you've already gotten 30 generic submissions that all read the same way. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. This isn't really about AI proofing your assignments. A prosecutor in a courtroom doesn't ask a witness to summarize what happens. She puts them on the stand, places them under pressure, and makes them defend what they saw, what they decided, and why. That's what real accountability looks like. Your assignments can do that same thing. Stop collecting answers, start requiring decisions. The moment you do that, AI stops being a threat to your assessment and starts being irrelevant to it. Here's what I want you to do right now. Take one assignment you're planning to give this week and run it through that 10-second test. Drop me a comment below and tell me which question it fails. I'd love to hear from you, and I can help you fix it. I'll see you in the next video.